Continuing with Word Module B, or Module 2, we will cover checking spelling and grammar, inserting comments, using the Research Information feature, applying styles, and adding page numbers, and a couple other neat features that will be helpful when you use Word down the road. So the first thing you'll notice that there are red wavy lines, which indicates spelling errors. Blue would be grammar errors. If you look down at the bottom on the status bar, bottom left, page 1 of 3, 633 words, and there's a little book icon. The X in it indicates there are spelling errors. So I just wanted to share with you, this word count is an amazing feature. It's very helpful, especially if you have to do an assignment that's 1,000 words or 500 words. It keeps track for you. Now let's say you wanted to see, well, how many words are in just one paragraph? So if I just triple click in this one top paragraph here, it'll tell me that it's 66 of the 633 words. If I triple click the third paragraph, or remember if I'm over here and double click, it'll select that paragraph for me. And there are 117 words out of the 633, and you could also select and drag the two paragraphs to get a total of 183 words. So that's a pretty neat feature. The other thing we'll work with is side heading. So right now, the side heading matches the text style and size of the rest of the document. So again, you don't have to select it. You can just be there and choose heading 1. If I click in the title, it was the title style. So there's heading 1. And then I can just click in the next one and choose heading 1. So it stands out a little bit. If you want, there's more of them. So I would come over to the selection area and just click once. Hold Control and select the next one. Hold Control, and there should be a couple more. Hold Control and one more. And then just click heading 1, so it does all of them. So now if I were to use the navigation window, I can either look at it as pages or as headings. And if I want to go somewhere real quick, it selects it, goes right to that page. Now if you noticed, I forgot one right here, Technology in the Classroom, so I'll just choose heading 1. This conclusion is on the bottom of page 1, and it really should be at the end. So all I have to do instead of copy or cut and then paste is just drag it right from the headings navigation window and drag it to where I want it and let go. Sometimes you get an extra blank space above it, so I'm just going to go to that blank area and just press delete. So if you look at these headings, you notice there's a little triangle next to it, and what happens if you accidentally click it, don't worry, you didn't delete the paragraph. What it does is it collapses the paragraph below it, and you just see the side headings. And to get it back, you just click it to reverse it, and you get the information back. So it just collapses the paragraph underneath it. You did not lose anything. It's just so that you see the side heading only. So I'll get that back. We'll delete this, close out the navigation window, Control Home. Let's start with our spelling errors. So again, you could go right click and just fix them right as they come, or you can click Review, and I always start at the top. Review, Editor, or Spelling and Grammar, depending on what version you're using. Notice the shortcut key is F7, the function key F7, or come down to the status bar and click that book icon with the X on it, and it'll open up your editor window on the right-hand side. And I'm going to go right to the spelling. There's 5 errors. The first one is selected business. It shows you in the sentence that it falls. It has it underlined in red. You could listen to the pronunciation. You have suggestions of how it should be spelled and brief definitions. And usually, not always, but usually the first option is the correct one. So I'm going to click business. Communication, there it is in the paragraph, and it's spelled wrong. You can also choose where you want to read out, spell out, change all, or add, or just click. Next one's community is misspelled, so I'll click that. Follow is misspelled, 2 L's. The next one, it's repeated words. Just choose delete repeated words. And then if you wanted to, there are refinements. Besides the spelling and grammar, you could go to clarity and conciseness and check anything else that you'd want to change or just X out. So now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of page 2. And this section under entertainment side of technology should be in bullets. So I'm going to select those 5 lines, and on the home tab, if I click this, I'll get the default bullet, which is the solid circle, or you could come in here and choose something different from the library, or you can go to define new bullet and select something else. So whatever I decided to pick, so let's say I chose check mark. When I go to the next bulleted section, I want this in bullets. What I can do is when I click this, the default bullet, it actually gives me what I just not the solid circle, but what I just used. I'm going to change my mind and use numbers, and then I'll go up to this section and also use numbers. And I'll just use the default setting. So let's say this was a new set 1 through 5, and then I actually wanted this to continue 6, 7, 8. So what I would do is select them, right click, and choose continue numbering. So continued from the 5 to the 6. If I change my mind, I can right click and go back to restart at 1. Or I can go back to the bullets. Now on this one, before I go back to bullets, let's say you wanted family and friends to be 2. When you select, and notice I go over to the selection area and I click, it selects but not the number. That's okay because you want it to this to be the new 2 and then to renumber the rest of them. So I'm just going to hold and drag. That's that drag and drop and let go. So family and friends is the new 2 and the rest were renumbered. So I'm going to undo. There's another way to do it, which is pretty cool. So you could also cut and then go to your new location and paste, or the drag and drop, which I just did, or you don't have to select anything. Just be on this line, hold Alt and the Shift key, and press in the navigation area the up arrow and move it to exactly where you want. Alt, Shift, and the down arrow moves it back to where it was. So that's another way to do it. So now I'm going to select the 5 paragraphs, and instead of bullet numbers, I'm going to choose bullets. Control Home always takes me to the top. So this is, I'm going to make a comment. Let's say I'm working on this assignment with someone, and I want to have them look at my comments, or they can look at I can look at theirs, and we can probably make changes and so forth. So when you point and click to select it, you may get new comment here. If you don't, in the mini toolbar, you can choose review and click comment, and it'll showcase whose comment it is, and then once we type it, it'll show date and time. So you can, once you click, you can use either Control Enter to post it, or this little arrow here, and it'll put it in as date and time. Someone can reply. You can go back and add more information if you want. You can go in here and either resolve it or delete it, or you can also do it from up here with your comments. If you don't want the comments to show, you can turn them off. But it does show that there is a comment, and you get it right here. So I'm going to move down to the next section, and technology in the workplace. So I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to do my basic copy, and then I'm going to go to references, researcher, and this is a way to research technology in the workplace without having to leave Word and go to a browser. So I'm just going to click where it says start here, Control V to paste it, press enter. And then I'll get a few websites that I can look at, and I'm going to, okay, I want to check out the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and then I have a little information here that I could read about it. Now, if I find any information that's helpful, and I want to include it in my research project, just make sure you put it into your own words, and always cite your source in your works cited. So I'm going to close out of here. And if you wanted to view this in multiple pages, you can make it a little bit smaller to see it. So it's 3 pages, made it too small. And we have our comment there. And I want to put in a page number. So I'm going to go back to 100%. And I'm going to go so that I'm on page 2. So I'm not on the first page, I'm on page 2. I'm going to actually double click up here, which would be the header section of page 2, and I'm going to double click. And so it indicates that I'm in the header, and the actual essay is faded, so I'm active in the header, and you can tell by the header footer ribbon has changed. And I'm going to go to page number. I want it at the top. Plain number 1, it's at the left, 2 is at center, and 3 is at the right. And there are other options you can choose as well. So I'm going to go to the circle one, and you can pick anything you'd like. I'm going to undo because you can't even see the page number. So let me go back to top of page, maybe pick the brackets. And for some reason, it's not showing the page number. So let me go with, I'll go with this one here. Accent bar 1. There we go. Notice it's page 2. This is page 3. And it should have page 1. But I'm currently on page 2, and I really don't want page 1 to have a number because it's the title page. So I'm going to select different first page. So this stayed here, and if I scroll down, page 3 is fine, but on page 1, I don't have a page number. And then you can either double click in the document or close here. So let's view it now as multiple pages, and there you have your page. Title page does not have a number on it, but page 2 and 3 do. And that's, so we'll continue with more information regarding footnotes and endnotes and citations for Module B. Thank you.